Hello everyone, I am the Gaming Explorer and today I'm going to talk about top 10 gaming recommendations of all time according to my personal taste. Disclaimer: Number 1. Not gonna talk about games I haven't played to a certain degree, which means I'll be talking about the games which I have actually completed or some games that I have played for a long time. Even though I haven't completed, I know pretty much all about the game, so I could talk about those too. Number 2. The games are not always gonna be the best or even good to begin with, but they will definitely be interesting. Even through mechanics or through just storyline, something about the game would be of interest. At least it is to me, so I hope it is to other people too. Number 3. Games are arranged in alphabetical order. So take this list as recommendations and not actually a ranked list. You know the list I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Now that the disclaimers are out of the way, we can finally begin our list. Finally. On number 1 is Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. It's a survival game. It's kind of tedious and repetitive in its gameplay. You gotta get the basic needs for a ape, primate or whatever it is, and you have to make sure your clan survives to evolve into superior apes or primates, and the end goal is to make your primates turn into human beings. It is very minimum when it comes to its tutorials. Even on the easiest mode, it really doesn't handhold you, which a lot of games nowadays do that. If you like games which really doesn't hold your hand, just says you good luck, here's the game, go for it, well, this is a game for you. I haven't seen much games, or to be honest, any game which actually tackles this particular topic, which does intrigue me a lot. Like human evolution, or just evolution to begin with, is a concept that really doesn't get tackled that often in games. I don't know any games at the top of my head to name where human evolution or just evolution is a topic. So if you know any, well, tell me which ones those are. I would love to play those, but for now I just have this recommendation. If you want to get into human evolution, I guess, or just want to explore how humans evolved from primates, I guess. The game is oddly very educational or informative in a way. I mean, it doesn't tell you, like I said, it doesn't handhold you and say what happens, but I got to learn a lot about the African place where humans started off from, the earliest ape things. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not that great at explaining these things, but you know what I'm talking about. This game is pretty informative, so if you like some game like this, do give it a go. Even though a lot of people don't really like this game because it is kind of bland in a way, but I kind of find this game interesting, and when I start playing it, I do love the tedious, repetitive, not hand-holding gameplay aspect of this game, so give it a go. On number 2 is Grounded. It's another survival game. It's really cool in its concept too, just like the first one. But yeah, like in this game, you're pretty much like you're shrunk down. Everybody keeps comparing this game with a movie which is called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which to be honest I haven't seen, so I really can't tell if it is accurate to that, but if you have seen, well, there's that. But yeah, like you basically, it's a survival game where you're a tiny person where you have to survive in the big world of your tiny existence. That sounded very existential crisis inducing, but it's cool. You can play with your friends up to 4. It supports up to 4 multiplayer games, and you could play with them and survive. You could kill spiders, if you could just craft items by killing ants, and you can just live the normal small size life like you always wanted. The story content isn't that much though. The story is like, you could finish it in like, I played it like as a single player. I played it all by myself and completed the story very fast. Yeah, I don't have friends, so I really can't play with people, so I really can't tell how the multiplayer experience feels like, but you know, it supports multiplayers, and if I had some good friends, well, I could have played it with them. But well, if you do, well, you can play it with them. Up next on number 3 is Hollow Knight. It's a Metroidvania. And honestly, I don't know much about Metroidvanias. This is pretty much the first Metroidvania I properly played, and God, this really started my love for Metroidvanias. And yeah, everybody seems to agree on the internet that this is a pretty good game that really shows a good Metroidvania system. You know, the mechanics. It has superb music. Like, the soundtracks are superb. You could just listen to it on playback. And the tutorials, the fucking tutorials, it's damn good. It's damn good. Like, it really is very subtle, but it really teaches you. And I would argue that even a beginner could pick this game up and master it, because the tutorials are that damn good. The art style is pretty amazing. Like, the bugs and all, it's pretty good. There's just bugs everywhere, and I love it for it. And the story is pretty good. It's pretty much like a Souls game kind of story. Like, it doesn't shove the story in your face. You have to actually explore properly, try to immerse yourself into the story, immerse yourself into the game, in fact, to understand the story properly. It actually rewards you for exploring the world. Fights are pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, it has the best fights I have ever had in games, not in real life though. But yeah, like, the fights feel like a dance. You know, it feels like dancing. Like, you understand the rhythm of your opponents, and you just dance with them, and hopefully, if you know the dance properly, if you mastered it properly, you can eventually defeat them with repetitive deaths. After repetitive deaths, I mean, I'm not that great at English too, but yeah, it's one of the best games I have played, like, ever, period. So yeah, please give it a go. Up next on number 4 is Katana Zero. It's a platformer, and God, it is so good. I really did not expect this game to be that good. Like, it's a very short but delightful experience, just like my dick. But the soundtrack, the action, the freaking slow motion mechanics of the game, it's so good. Plus, the action doesn't feel like just like you go in and just swing your sword around and just kill people. It's more like actually properly strategizing whom to kill first, whom to not kill, and, you know, just traversing around each levels and actually dying over and over again, and then actually coming back and then killing them. And then it shows you in a replay manner, which you could see how it's done. Like it's pretty cool. I don't have much words for it, but it's a very intriguing. The story is very intriguing. The soundtrack is superb. The storyline is, yeah, I said the storyline. The action, the mechanics of the game is pretty good. The slowdown mechanics is good. The bullet reflecting with your sword is good. It's amazing, and I'm waiting for part 2 too. Also, yeah, Hollow Knight also I am waiting for part 2. I'm waiting for all these games in this list for the other iterations of them to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. On number 5 is Magic the Gathering. It's a collective card game, or a CCG, as some people might like to say. Well, it's the best way to play Magic the Gathering. If you know anything about Magic the Gathering, you know how good this game is. It has unique card animations for most actually good cards. The common cards don't have it, but yeah, most of the good cards or unique cards have like character animations, which does make you feel like you're playing some like Yu-Gi-Oh or some shit. And yeah, the freedom to come up with your own strategy really, it's really amazing. Like actually learning the game and then thinking of a strategy which you want. Like personally, if you go on my channel, you can find the like I have played this game on my channel. You could actually see, like I like one of the deck I loved is, which I made on my own. I haven't seen much people play that thing, is a lifesteal gamer. Like I focused only on the aspect of lifesteal. I made a black and white deck and fucked up everyone by stealing their life, by using the black cards to steal life and the white cards to boost up their life. And you know, if you know anything about Magic the Gathering, you know this game is super addictive. And to be honest, if you don't know Magic the Gathering, even then, give it a go, actually play it, and once you play it, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. It's super addictive, but in a good way, you know. I haven't played it for a while now, but when I did, it was super good and I couldn't get much of it. Like, you know what I mean, okay? Up next on number 6 is Persona 4 Golden. It's a JRPG and a social simulation game. So yeah, if any of you like anime, for example, this game is pretty much like playing an anime. The game is full of lovable characters. Some of them I like more than others. For example, Kanji, obviously. And yeah, it's a great game with an amazing story, which has a lot of influence from Carl Jung's work. Carl Jung, by the way, if you don't know, was a psychologist, as much as I know. I don't know if that's the proper term to name him as. But you know, if you know Carl Jung, well, a lot of Carl Jung's work has its influence on Persona 4. The gameplay is basically like a classic JRPG, like Pokemon or something. It's pretty much like that, but you play the game like it's a high school anime. You get to do a lot of jobs, like part-time jobs. You get to interact with people. I like the system that there is a calendar system where you can do one major task every single day, and only one major task every single day. So time is limited, so you have to decide who you want to spend with, which really makes your interactions with people valuable. And yeah, the freaking interactions with characters, it's so good. All the characters are just so good. Like it's amazing. Like, and the game does not shy away from, you know, showing the dirty or gritty aspects of human nature. Like the shadows, for example, really shows what people are inside, how they are, but the personas actually show how they could be. Either way, give it a try if you want to get into psychology or something, or you like JRPG, or you just like anime, for example, or you just want a new game. Just play it for fuck's sake. Up next on number 7 is Resident Evil 1 HD Remaster version. It's a survival horror game. This game, even though yes, I haven't completed yet, I am still playing it right now. But as much as I have played, it's an amazing survival horror setting. For example, a game like Outlast, that's the first game I played, which probably is the first survival horror game I played. But yeah, that game and this game, it really shows how good this game is in its survival horror setting. It doesn't scare you with its jump scares and stuff, though it does have jump scares every now and then, but that's not the only weapon it has. It mostly scares you with anticipation that something might happen, and that anticipation really gives you a like weird feeling down your spine, where you're just waiting for the zombies to attack. Like, when will they attack? Like, is it gonna happen when I open the door? When is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen when I pass through the window? Not through the window, by the window. Fuck's sake, my English. But yeah, also you need to strategically manage your inventory, which is a thing I haven't seen in other games. But then again, I haven't played that many games to begin with. like other people. So strategically managing your inventory, that seemed like a very cool mechanic, because even picking up herbs and picking up guns and stuff, those seems so much important, and I would love to see this mechanic in other games. Well, most games wouldn't have this thing, but any game that should have this kind of setting would have this setting. I would love to see this mechanics. Also, the fight and flight situations you have to deal with when zombies show up. Like, you don't know if you should fight them or you should run away from them. Yes, you have a gun, but it's pointless, because you want to like preserve your bullets. You don't want to waste it on zombies which you can just outrun. So most of the times you'll be running away from zombies than actually fighting them. Yes, the camera angles might be a little bit like annoying to people who are not used to this kind of games, but yeah, it looks very cinematic. But yeah, that camera angles are the most annoying when you are running away from zombies. But then again, if you want a good survival horror game, do give this a try. Up next on number 8 is The Wolf Among Us. It's a narrative adventure game. By the time when I was playing this game, at that time I hadn't played like any Telltale games. I have always seen people play it. I think I might have tried it a little bit, like Walking Dead on my phone by that time, but yeah, I haven't tried it. So I wanted to try The Wolf Among Us, because by then I have only seen Jacksepticeye play the Walking Dead series, but I wanted to see how the games feel like, So I started Among Us, The Wolf Among Us, and let me tell you, I was shocked how good the stories are. I mean, let me tell you, it's not the best story I have ever heard, but for some reason it really feels good. I know the criticisms which go for Telltale games are generally like the consequences don't really amount to much in the end, but you know what? As long as it gives you the sense of like choice, that your choices do matter. If you're not understanding that it does or not, it really doesn't matter if it eventually does or not. It's a good story in an adventure setting. Play this game. Amazing storyline with classic fairy tale characters. For example, the Big Bad Wolf or Red Riding Hood or Cinderella or something. They're all referenced here, or they show up here in this game, which really makes you feel awesome. Well, it doesn't make you feel awesome, but it's a good concept. I liked it. Also, it really forces you to choose a lot of like agonizing decisions, which really really fucks you in the head. But I like those brain fucks, so that's why I love this game. But if you want that kind of brain fucks or just want a narrative adventure game, well, The Wolf Among Us is what I recommend. Up next on number 9 is The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, an action RPG game. God, this is my favorite game of all time, by the way. And yeah, after playing so many games, well, not that many to other people's comparison, but playing a lot of different games, this game really stands out from most of the games I have played. Like, superb soundtrack, superb voice acting, even by NPCs. The decisions I made really made me feel like it mattered. Unlike Telltale games, which again I will say it has its criticisms, this game really makes you feel like your choices do matter, and they do. Because I thought this game was going to be something like Telltale games, and I fucking acted like a hero when I tried to save kids, and then that resulted to somebody killing themselves, which made me feel terrible and made me really think about my consequences of my actions, which honestly no one in my life has made me feel that way except this game. Actually, no, that's not true. But this game really makes you feel like your actions matter. Okay, yes, the combat system might not be the best, okay, but you eventually get used to it, so it's not that bad. it's just like everything else in this game is so good that the combat system is generally frowned upon, but it's not bad necessarily. It is good, just not up to mark with all the setting and all the RPG elements in this game. It is a dark fantasy game, which pretty much feels like you are in the Game of Thrones universe. For example, Novigrad really feels like King's Landing, which is the biggest city in the game, and it really feels good. I love this game. It looks very good. And by the way, Gwent is the best side or short game or side game or mini game, whatever, in any game ever. So yeah, please just play this game, for fuck's sake. Why are you waiting? Up next on number 10 is Yakuza 0, the last but not the least. It's an action adventure game. It's such a good game. Before playing Yakuza 0, I always wanted to get into the Yakuza franchise or play one of the games from the Yakuza franchise, but I never could. But Yakuza 0 is a perfect beginning for anyone who really wants to dip their toes into the Yakuza franchise. It's such a good game. It pretty much feels like if JoJo was a game. Well, JoJo has games, but if JoJo was a game, this would be it. I constantly call it the JoJo of all games because it's too over exaggerated. But unlike JoJo, it actually feels like the characters are real. They feel very grounded in a weird sense, which JoJo didn't. But this is not a review about JoJo here. Alright, but this game is super exaggerated. The fight combat system is superb. It's so good. Changing between each styles and beating down each opponent, seeing what style works with them, what doesn't. The mini games, too many mini games, but it's never enough. Because I never could complete all the mini games or even try to play all the mini games. I did not play the kart game which Kiryu had, but I did like the mini game with the cabaret. Yeah, that was my favorite one. Judge me all you want, but that was my favorite one. Also another thing was, I really love the karaoke thing. Singing 𝔊𝔞𝔪𝔢 after every mission is just such a delight. I know it's not much, but singing 𝔊𝔞𝔪𝔢 is just amazing. Also, I never learned how to do the disco thing, and I'm happy with it. But for now, if you want a good action adventure game with a really good storyline, do play Yakuza 0. And with that, I end the video. So, first thing first, this is the first time I'm making this kind of video. So yeah, you can tell that by the quality of the video. And I know top 10 videos aren't the most innovative ideas to make, but I always wanted to make those because while talking to my friends, I realized I have some good recommendations, well, at least in their perspective, because they haven't played a lot of the games I have played. So I thought, why not just give recommendations? So I tried to do something like the top 10 videos I watch, like watch Mojo and shit. Yeah, so if you like the video, do give it a like, and if you disliked it, well, do give it a dislike. Comment whatever things you want to say, like just telling me to kill myself, or just constructive criticisms, or just saying how amazing my voice is. Obviously, you could say those in the comments. Or another thing was, yeah, share it with people who would love to watch this, or who you think would love to watch this video. I don't know. And yeah, subscribe, because I would be making more of these kinds of videos if this works properly. I'm kind of testing out new things. I generally do let's plays, but I haven't done it in quite a while, so I'm thinking of shifting my content to making more videos about top 10 videos about gamings. I'll get more specific with the titles, and also I wanted to talk about genres, for example platformers or action adventure or city building or RPGs. Like, I wanted to talk specifically about those genres. So yeah, if you want any of those kind of content, you should probably subscribe. I mean, give it a try. You don't have much to lose if you do, right? Still feel weird about just asking people to subscribe, or liking and commenting on stuff. Whatever, doesn't matter. We'll talk about that later. But if you think I could do better with this video, well, please do let me know, because I actually want to get better at this shit. So yeah, do let me know. And for now, I guess I'll meet you guys next time in the next video. And bye.